Wendy's what?
Wendy's breakfast. They've been trying to make us do a commercial about it for months.
Man, I'm hungry. Those things look good.
Did you know that Wendy's launched a brand new breakfast menu a few months ago? Maybe you missed the news, as it happened back in the beginning of March, right around the time the world was starting to go into shutdown mode.
Shut it down!
No thanks.
It's kind of fun. Shut it down.
So, with one more player in the game for your hard-earned breakfast dollars, here are the top 10 untold truths of Wendy's breakfast. They have tried doing breakfast before.
But now, I'm thinking I'm back.
This 2020 breakfast menu isn't the first time Wendy's has tried to do breakfast. In fact, it isn't even the second time. This latest attempt is actually the third time the fast food chain has tried to get into the breakfast game. And we hope they have learned from their mistakes, because the first two tries ended pretty quickly. Attempt number 1 came in 1985. The restaurant was on everyone's mind because of the hugely popular Where's the Beef commercials. And after a year of testing, they launched their self-touted fresh breakfast offerings.
Top of the morning, everyone. I brought some burgers and fries.
But 9 months later, Wendy's admitted failure and pulled the plug, with only a handful of franchisees deciding to keep serving breakfast. After that, it wasn't until 25 years later, in 2010, that Wendy's decided it was time to try again. However, this second attempt never even made it to the full national rollout stage. Wendy's started out by testing the menu in a few locations, but their competition in those locations, such as McDonald's, went on the offensive right away, cutting prices and advertising hard, basically knocking Wendy's off their game before they even got started. They were never able to get their feet on solid ground. So in 2013, Wendy's admitted defeat and breakfast plans were shelved yet again. Here's hoping the third time's the charm. Wendy's is doing things differently this time.
Old and busted, new hotness.
They say that those who don't learn from history are doomed to repeat it, and Wendy's definitely doesn't want to repeat what happened the last two times they tried to get into the breakfast game. So with this big rollout, they are doing things differently on many levels. First off, learning from what happened in 2010 when they tried to test the menu in certain markets only, they rolled out their breakfast menu nationally right from the start this time. To save on labor costs, this menu only requires 3 employees as opposed to a decade ago, which needed 4. One huge difference between this menu and the one they were testing in 2010 is that this one only has 18 new products and ingredients, as opposed to 45. For the previous breakfast rollout, franchisees had to spend $10,000 in new equipment costs alone. This time, no new equipment.
So you get nothing!
As you may imagine, with new equipment and so many new products and ingredients, the 2010 rollout was much more complicated for the restaurants to implement and operate. This time, Wendy's corporate made sure to simplify things all around. They have also focused on drive-thru this time, which is not only good for the breakfast business in general, but is looking like an even smarter move given people's safety going forward. The Breakfast Baconator.
Hamburgers, cornerstone of any nutritious breakfast.
Yes, you heard that right. One of the items on Wendy's brand new, completely redone breakfast menu that recently launched is a Breakfast Baconator. Get ready to sink your teeth into 730 delicious calories of grilled sausage, American cheese, applewood smoked bacon, a fresh cracked grade A egg, more cheese, more bacon, and all that covered in Swiss cheese sauce. In case you were wondering, there is a total of 6 strips of bacon on each sandwich. If you weren't drooling before, then you surely are now. The original Baconator was launched back in 2007 and has since gone on to great acclaim, praised by fast food fans everywhere.
Great news, guys. I just saved your bacon.
Impossible, you don't even know where it is.
Not only does the OG Baconator have thousands of Twitter followers, but earlier this year, Wendy's teamed up with Pringles to launch, for a limited time only, Baconator-flavored Pringles chips. The original Baconator is one of the most popular burgers in America, and so it only makes sense that Wendy's would create a breakfast version for their morning customers. And the Breakfast Baconator looks to be pleasing palates as well. Reviews have been good so far, with customers calling it full of flavor and praising the yummy cheese sauce. Wendy's used to offer made-to-order omelets.
Say it again, Dexter. Omelette de fromage.
Back during their first failed attempt at breakfast in the early 1980s, Wendy's decided that a great way to differentiate themselves from the fast food competition was to offer made-to-order omelets. The idea of offering fresh, made-to-order food when your competition is serving up frozen pancakes and such is a positive differentiator for sure. But go ahead and raise your hand if you're shocked it didn't work. While the omelet idea was a good one for the home-style part of what Wendy's is about, it should come as no surprise that it kind of took away from the fast part. In a 1986 interview, Wendy's founder Dave Thomas talked about how they made every omelet made to order, while their competitor made things up and put them under a heat lamp. Wendy's just couldn't compete with that. It was a brand new procedure, and Dave Thomas admitted they had made a mistake. Since then, they have decided to leave the made-to-order omelets to the hotel breakfast bars and stick to more fast food-friendly items, while still trying to differentiate with freshness where possible. We're sure Dave would approve of this new version of the Wendy's breakfast menu. Fresh cracked grade A eggs.
Can I offer you a nice egg in this trying time?
If you visit the Wendy's website and look at the breakfast menu, one thing that might stand out is that for every item that has an egg in it, the description uses the words fresh cracked grade A egg. You might be wondering, why are they being so specific about using actual fresh cracked eggs? Doesn't everyone? And the answer to that is a big fat no.
No, 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 no!
In fact, it is actually kind of difficult to find a fast food chain that does use fresh eggs. McDonald's, as it turns out, only uses fresh cracked eggs in their Egg McMuffin. For all the other eggs on the menu, in or out of sandwiches, they use a liquid egg mixture that definitely starts with real eggs, but has some additives and preservatives thrown in. The same is true of Burger King's eggs on their breakfast menu. So Wendy's is actually differentiating themselves from the competition beyond what you may have thought with their use of only fresh cracked eggs. On their website, in response to the question, does Wendy's use real eggs, they write, absolutely. Every breakfast sandwich that has an egg on it uses freshly cracked grade A, honest to goodness from an actual chicken egg. A real egg from a real chicken. What a novel idea. A Frosty for breakfast? The Baconator is a fan favorite, and you can get a breakfast version. What about another Wendy's favorite, the Frosty? There's no way anyone is going to have ice cream for breakfast, is there? Well, apparently the simple answer is yes, yes, yes. As part of their new breakfast menu, Wendy's has brought the world a Frosty-chino, a cold brewed coffee swirled with vanilla Frosty mix and served over ice. That's the vanilla Frosty-chino. Replace the vanilla Frosty mix with chocolate Frosty mix, and you got the chocolate Frosty-chino. Not only does this sound like a perfect way to get your day going, but you might be surprised and happy to know that the small options are actually only 210 and 220 calories respectively, while a large Frosty-chino only comes in at 310 calories each. Sure, that's more than a regular coffee, but pretty much on par, if not a tad lower, than many specialty coffee drinks you would get anywhere else. Other beverage options on the menu include cold brewed iced coffee, regular coffee, a blend of 100% Arabica beans from Central and South America, medium roasted, and 100% pure squeezed pasteurized orange juice. And according to multiple reviewers, Wendy's coffee holds its own and ranks in the top half of many lists that rank fast food coffee. Do they have something better than hash browns?
Just so I can grind their face up like some hash browns.
Looking over the new breakfast menu, the first thing one might notice is that Wendy's doesn't have hash browns. Hash browns are pretty much a staple of any breakfast outing, especially a fast food one. And they are also often one of the best, if not the best things on the Get It and Go menu. But in true Wendy's fashion, the house that Dave Thomas built is attempting to one-up the standard fast food breakfast potato game with something that looks and feels more like actual food, rather than some weird concoction that, while you eat it, you try not to think about how they actually made it. Wendy's is offering its morning munchers seasoned potatoes.
Potatoes. Boil them, mash them, stick them in a stew.
Natural cut, half-moon shape, skin-on potatoes, cooked and seasoned with cracked black pepper and garlic powder. Many reviewers wrote about how much they love that the skins are left on. Another reviewer who has tried everything on the menu said that the Wendy's seasoned potatoes were astonishingly good. Crunchy outside, soft inside, with a mouth-watering combo of seasonings. While there are many hash brown lovers out there who probably can't imagine a fast food breakfast run without that hash brown on the side, Wendy's is hoping to convert you to their morning potato offering. And it definitely sounds like it is worth making the trip to at least give them a try. Wendy's worked hard to put this new menu together.
How's the pie?
So good.
Given their past struggles with breakfast and the crowded and competitive fast food market of today, Wendy's made sure they did everything right when it came to launching breakfast this time. For starters, there is the coffee. As John Lee, Wendy's Vice President of Culinary Innovation, said, "Without good coffee, you're sunk no matter what market." So with that in mind, the company tried a variety of beans and, in the end, decided to go with an Indonesian blend of Sumatran beans. The beans are more expensive, which didn't make the corporate bean counters, no pun intended, very happy. They also wanted to make sure they were Rainforest Alliance certified. When it comes to their breakfast sandwiches that use biscuits and croissants, Wendy's is having those baked off-site at bakeries in order to take some pressure off employees at the restaurants.
Thank you!
But they were definitely involved in selecting the final product that the bakeries would produce for them. The croissants are made with 128 layers of dough and butter, and they went through somewhere around 50 different versions before landing on the final biscuit recipe. And if you were wondering about the meatless sausage trend that seems to be sweeping the breakfast landscape, Wendy's hasn't ruled it out. They might have one eventually, but not for now. Wendy's is really trying to keep this new breakfast rollout very simple to start out. As they say, slow and steady wins the race. Some yummy, calorie-bursting items.
Go for the cliff! And 3, 2, 1, jump!
All fast food restaurants have some healthier, lower-calorie options on the menu. However, you can always feel confident that if you need to start your day off with a filling feast and calories aren't an issue, there will certainly be a nice selection at any fast food joint you saunter into. And Wendy's is no exception. Weighing in at 500 calories is the Honey Butter Chicken Biscuit, a crispy chicken fillet seasoned and topped with maple honey butter on a fluffy buttermilk biscuit. It is probably as delicious as it sounds, given that in test markets, it was the company's second best seller. Coming in at 560 yummy calories is the Maple Bacon Chicken Croissant, a juicy chicken breast, applewood smoked bacon, and maple butter on a flaky croissant bun. For just 50 more calories, for a total of 610, you can indulge in the Sausage, Egg, and Cheese Biscuit, a fresh cracked grade A egg on a fluffy buttermilk biscuit with grilled sausage and melted American cheese. And at the top of the Wendy's calorie food chain, looking down on all other breakfast items from its 730-calorie perch, is the sure-to-be fan favorite and bestseller, Breakfast Baconator. While these calorie numbers might not make these sandwiches an option for breakfast every single day, they'd make a great treat on those mornings after the night before. These brekkie delights sound like just what the doctor ordered to cure any hangover, as long as you can get out of bed and to a Wendy's before they stop serving breakfast at 10:30 a.m.
Breakfast is over at 10:30. Really? Yeah. I thought it was 11. I thought that too.
There are some healthier options.
There's been a mistake. You've accidentally given me the food that my food eats.
Maybe you were trying to count your calories, but your friends still want to go to Wendy's for breakfast. Well, have no fear. As long as you can resist the pull of the Breakfast Baconator, there are some healthier choices you can make. The lowest calorie item on the entire menu is the coffee. That means skip the Frosty-chinos and stick to a good solid cup of joe, only 5 measly calories. For a sacrifice of just 230 calories, you can fill your belly with a small order of Wendy's seasoned potatoes. We understand that potatoes alone might not be enough, so why not add a fresh-baked oatmeal bar to your order? The bars are made with whole oats, sweet blueberries, and tart cranberries. And at 270 calories, your total morning intake would only be at 500. 505 if you added a coffee. Finally, there is the sausage, egg, and cheese burrito. Scrambled eggs, melty cheese, and seasoned breakfast sausage wrapped in a warm, soft flour tortilla. And at 340 calories, it won't make your food tracking app angry at you and just might give you the boost you need to start your day. Order up another great video. Just tap that screen, show us some love, and hit that subscribe button and ring that notification bell.